All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, for the second consecutive year, there wasn't that much excitement for the conclusion of the IndyCar season as it was anticlimactic. For the third time in the last 4 years, Alex Palou is your IndyCar Series champion, as he was not as dominant this year as he was last year, but the main word for Palou was consistency. Palou won 2 races this year, but he managed to enjoy 13 top 5 finishes, and that, my friends, was the difference. Now, Will Power entered Sunday's race, the season finale in Nashville as the closest competitor to Palou for the title, but he capped off the season, unfortunately for him, with a less than stellar performance. Now, after beginning the race fourth, Power's car betrayed him as he went to the pits early and he never recovered. By the time he left, he was several laps down, and that was it for the two-time series champion. For that race, Power finished 24th, and subsequently he would finish fourth in the points. You go back to Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago, Power was unable to fully take advantage of the struggles of Alex Palou. And the momentum just changed from there. And unfortunately for Power, he just never got it back in Nashville. For Nashville's race this past Sunday, Palou finished 11th. And now in the process, he joins a very short list of drivers that have won at least 3 IndyCar titles, as that list includes the likes of AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, and Palou's Chip Ganassi teammate Scott Dixon, just to name a few of the drivers that have been able to do it. Uh, a strong IndyCar season altogether. Okay, we saw 7 drivers win a race for the second consecutive year. And then, how about the finish by Colton Herta and Andretti? Colton Herta took the checkered flag this past Sunday in Nashville, and then on top of that, he was able to finish second in the points. Big for that young man. It's also a big thing for Andretti Racing. We saw Scott McLaughlin take third place in the points. Scotty Mack had a strong season of his own. Clearly, he's going to look to build off of that. And, now it's time to begin to look ahead to 2025. Some things to keep an eye on already. Santino Ferrucci got his extension to continue to run for AJ Foyt Racing. Christian Lundgaard is going to be replacing Alexander Rossi at McLaren. And will Rossi get picked up by another team for 2025? We've got to wait and see. Felix Rosenquist just got a multi-year deal with Meyer Shank. He had 6 top 10 finishes this season. Will Scott Dixon be back with Chip Ganassi? I totally think so. I mean, you're talking about the Iceman. You're talking about one of the best racers in the IndyCar circuit of all time. And, his contract is up. But I'll tell you like this, I cannot fathom seeing Scott Dixon racing for another team and not racing in that PNC Bank number 9 for Chip Ganassi. Joseph Newgarden. Okay, how are he things gonna be able to bounce back for him and Penske? I mean, it's one of those where Power had a chance coming in to the final race. He finished fourth. Scotty Mack finished third, and then Joseph Newgarden finished eighth. And of course, the controversy to begin the season in Tampa St. Pete won the race, lost all of his points. He was stripped of his points. So was Scotty Mack. And, it kind of put them behind the 8 ball to begin the year. I know Newgarden did recover to win the Indy 500 for the second consecutive year. But when you race for Team Penske, it's about winning Indy, but it's also about winning the series championship. Okay. So 1 out of 2 of those things came to fruition. But I guarantee you, the captain, Roger Penske, is going to be full steam ahead to try to get this thing, I'm not going to say turned around, but it's just the standards, the level of excellence at Penske, especially now that you've seen Chip Ganassi take it home once again. We're going to see IndyCar go from NBC to Fox next year. So let's see how that coverage works out for the circuit. And of course, one question is, being that it was a little anticlimactic coming down the stretch, should IndyCar, adapt a playoff style format like NASCAR does? And I'm going to say no, because I think, yeah, it didn't have that thrill. It didn't have that full excitement coming down the stretch. But at the end of the day, if somebody's dominating, somebody's dominating. And the thing is, Alex Palou went out there and was a very smart driver all season long. Not to take anything away from the other drivers, but you know what? The man was consistent, and at the end of the day, he deserved to win the title, and he did. So you look at Palou; he's got a strong chance to three-peat. It's one of those clearly certain things you can't predict to dictate. It's all good. But, like I said, coming into this season, it was going to come down to Chip Ganassi and Penske, and that's basically how things worked out. And I think that's going to once again be the case. I know both McLaren, you could also put Andretti as well, um, as AJ Foyt. They're going to be making strong pushes to go out there and win that title next year. But I still think at the end of the day, the front runners are going to be Penske and Chip Ganassi once again. So another IndyCar, almost said NASCAR, but please forgive me, but another IndyCar season is in the books. It was full of excitement. And now it's time to turn the page and prepare for 2025. And I think there's going to be plenty of excitement around the bend. There's still going to be some driver shifting from team to team. Let's see how that works out. But of course, the battle is going to be on to dethrone Alex Palou once again. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'd be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.